Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of the Nintendo Jump Podcast. We are a weekly discussion podcast created for Nintendo gamers by Nintendo gamers. It's the week of November 5th. I'm Kevin, and today I'm once again joined by Daryl.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Daryl. And Sergio.
Hello, what's up, guys?
Yo, the big 2-0, episode 20. How y'all feeling?
Man, I don't know. It just feels like we started this 20 weeks ago. Talk about a coincidence.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's odd.
All right, so that's all
I
we
got.
That's all we got.
That's all we got.
Man, we peaked early there. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, we got some things that we want to talk about. Smash, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate coming your way, coming our way very soon next month. We're very excited about that. We're going to talk about some things about that. And then I got a topic that I want to talk about, which we will get into, and one listener mail question. And that's it for topics. So we're going to get into the Super Smash. That was kind of lame, but okay. So, Daryl, so there's a lot of footage from... Okay, so I'm just going to retrack back. So Daryl sent us a YouTube video or a channel with a bunch of these, videos on a tournament that happened overseas, and there's just you can see the gameplay with different characters, and I just want to get from you, Daryl and Sergio, what do you guys think about the footage out there? Like, what are your thoughts? Like certain characters. Boom, let's get started.
I mean, it's okay, I guess.
Nah.
It's all right. No,
Okay.
so I think it's good that we're swinging back on Smash because, unfortunately, the direct really coincided with when we were planning our music episode, and we didn't want to delay that, so we kind of rushed the Smash discussion. So I think it's a good thing that we're kind of getting back into that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because last week we were doing our game music episode 2, but we had to talk a little bit about Smash, just a little bit. And yeah, I mean, personally for me, with seeing some of the footage, I mean, I like Richter a lot. I've seen... Okay, so there's this video of Richter and King K. Rool. They were playing... The guy was using K. Rool. He's okay. It wasn't that great. But, man, the guy with Richter, oh, man, it's that whip has a lot of range, or a lot of reach, and I don't know, it's some of these characters, they're looking really good out there. I've seen Ike and Marth and even Ice Climbers. Holy shoot! I mean, I don't even know where to put these in the tier list. I just hope that Bayonetta isn't super OP like it was back in Smash 4. I mean, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking about that.
Well, I mean, so yeah, to be specific, there's been this invitational tournament in Spain going on. So there's actually a lot of high level play and videos of that out there now. Specifically, the YouTube channel Smash Bros. Spain is a good one. There's another one, No Contest, has a lot of footage. Basically, at this point, we have footage of all of the characters that are coming at launch, and honestly, it looks really, really good. Sergio, what have you been seeing lately?
Only a couple of videos of Pikachu. I just wanted to see how he's changed. Honestly, because I don't want to spoil even some of the new characters or even Pichu. I want to wait until the game comes out, but I couldn't resist watching a little bit of Pikachu, and it's nice. I learned that he has another spike. He's down A.
Ooh.
During the air. Yeah, it spikes down, and that's
He's
going to
so
be pretty
scary.
awesome. Yeah. But the game is looking amazing. I did watch that video with Richter and King K. Rool, and they both look really nice too.
I mean, I think so. If you go on Reddit and you go on any of these videos, you see a lot of people saying, "Oh man, this character looks really good. This character looks really good," and people are saying that about a lot of the cast right now, which I think is just pointing to the fact that this game looks really fun. They've done some changes. So even early on, a lot of the commentary on this game was, whether it was going to be kind of a port of the Smash Bros. For Wii U. I would say it still looks kind of similar, but it has been updated so drastically that it's gonna play like a completely different game. And the choices that they're making in the characters, specifically like adding fire attacks to Roy and changing some of Captain Falcon's moves and uh, global changes like really speeding up the game as far as how fast characters can move after landing and out of uh, multiple attacks out of dash instead of just a couple before. I mean, the changes that they're making, it's one of those weird things that they're pretty much all positive in my mind. Like everything that I've seen of the actual game footage has been really, really positive, and that's nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just building up more hype, and we're only a month away, guys, and it's just.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's already November. Like, where's the time gone? Like what Sergio said, it seemed like yesterday we just started this podcast, and now we're 5 months in. I mean, it's just like, oh man, I can't believe it. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot wait. And I've noticed, like you said, it's similar I guess, in style and in graphics to the latest one. But like you said, a lot of the changes are going to be very significant. I noticed already that there seems like there's more moves that have, I don't know if it's called hit stun, or basically when you hit the opponent, you kind of carry them with you, sort of to keep them close and to keep the combos going. But also when you do a significant hit that pushes them away, they kind of seem to fly away faster.
Yeah, they do.
And that was a concern a lot of people had, because it might break up combo play a lot. So it doesn't look like it's as bad as we thought, but it's definitely there. Like you can notice it. So it's gonna change the way we play for sure. At least part of when people are you get more damage on, you're gonna fly faster. There's gonna be more distance between the players.
Yeah, and I think early on, I think Sakurai, the mastermind behind Smash, stated something along the lines of they wanted to do that so that the characters fly out quicker and then get back to the action faster. Which, okay, that makes sense. And after watching the footage, yeah, that's happening. Some people were concerned about the smoke trail effects. Those definitely seem to have been toned down a
Yes.
lot. So that's less of a concern now. I mean, I'll say the entire combo game and everything that entails is going to be different than previous games, and that's just a function of a new Smash game. But if you look at the overall changes that they've made, defensive options are inherently weaker now, so rolling and dodging and such actually gets weaker the more you do it, and there's more offensive options, so it's gonna be a more aggressive styled game anyway. So I view that as a positive because it's more fun to watch. You can actually it rewards some nice spacing and tech skill and things like that, and I'm mostly positive on those changes.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's like being a camper in Call of Duty. I had to bring it up where you're just hiding in the corner, waiting to shoot somebody, and then like once they come out, boom, you just you get the kill. But I think
it's not fun.
It's not fun. Yeah, nobody wants to be a camper. I'm unapologetic about that. So, for me, and I guess in Call of Duty, like I'm more of a run and gunner, so I'm a lot more aggressive when I play in that kind of game. So I view the same way in terms of playing Smash. Although before I did used to roll a lot more than I needed to, but I do appreciate the fact that they are encouraging more offensive play, and because yeah, like you said, it does encourage people to learn how to tech and be able to just take more risks. Because I mean, in the end, you just want to be able to punch the lights out of the other person and just have a good time. I mean, nobody wants to see someone run away like all the time and roll to like from edge to edge. So I think that it's good for the game, and it seems to me that they're taking it. Well, obviously they're taking it extremely seriously about balancing the characters, and hopefully we'll have a good selection of characters to choose from that are not too overpowered. So that's just my biggest fear, because I don't want to have just one character super overpowered and everybody uses that person or character, and
Well,
then
I mean, let's be clear on that. There will at some point be a best
yeah.
character in this game. Like there will be a character that is the best in the game, and the overall balance is just going to depend on how the other characters actually deal with that character. Now, when you
Mm,
deal with somebody like Bayonetta, I mean, there's a lot of data that says Bayonetta's the best character in Smash for Wii U, and that's fine. I mean, that happens. She's not all that fun to watch, which I think is more of the a reason for all the hate that gets thrown
right.
that way.
Yeah.
Like if you came up and said, "Hey, Captain Falcon is the best character in this game," probably people would like that. you know, like
Right, right.
everybody would watch it and be excited about it. But the fact that it's Bayonetta and she does it in kind of a dumb way, that just kind of angers people. But uh,
I'm.
what I do like is that they've specifically, I mean, even in the direct, they specifically touched on the fact that they want to be watching actual players to
Right.
help with the balance of the
hmm
game, which is something that they did over the course of Wii U. The reason Bayonetta was what she was mostly because she came way late. She was the last,
Hmm.
I believe, the last DLC character. So there were a couple patches right after her, but that was it. And then that
Right,
was just the
right.
game. So she stayed kind of where she was.
hmm
Whereas in this game, at least starting off, the balance that comes out of the box on this game is not going to be the ending balance. We know that.
Yeah.
hmm hmm
And that's okay. I mean, kind of playing and living through a transitioning power ranking of the characters and tier lists and such. It is actually kind of fun because it encourages you to pick up a bunch of different players or characters, I want to say,
hmm
at the get go. So if all of a sudden your main is you know really made a lot worse, then you can kind of switch off, or you at least know how to play a couple other characters that might have gotten improved. You know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, yeah, I mean, in the end, it's they're gonna do the best they can to make sure that all the characters are balanced, but there is gonna be that one character that is just gonna be the best. But I think a good thing that comes out of tiers is that if say if you're really good with a low tier character and you come out guns blazing in tournaments and you're able to just knock everybody out with that low tier character, people are gonna be surprised, and that gives you an advantage because it's like, oh wow, I didn't know this character can do that. So I think that just adds to the excitement of watching Smash tournament play. So I always appreciate that. I
Oh,
do
for
remember.
sure.
I remember one time. Oh, sorry. I remember one time I was watching this one Link character. Like I didn't know Link was like the way that this person was using Link was amazing. Like in Melee, and I was like, how the I forgot the person's name, but it was so crazy. Like just able to, I mean, even against like unfavorable matchups, like he was able to hold his own. So I mean, it's possible. So
Oh yeah, and I for anybody listening to this, like go into this game and do not worry about tier lists or who's
right.
the best character or anything. You have 74 characters out of the box to choose from. Just pick a couple that are fun and just use them. Like you don't have to worry about it because we're not gonna know who the best characters are at
Nope.
the gate
Right.
anyway. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna matter for a few months. Pick up a bunch of characters, play them, have fun. That's what this game is about, and that kind of transitions into something I kind of wanted to touch on. So obviously, as Nintendo gamers, we all think Super Smash Brothers is kind of a big deal, right? I mean, this is a huge game that's coming out this year on the system. But from time to time, we get asked, why is this such a big deal? To me, I really wanted to touch on it because it's not really so much the fact that it's just a fighting game with Nintendo characters. I mean, it's a really fun game, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be nearly this into it if it weren't as fun as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, every time these games come out, it's kind of this celebration of what Nintendo is as a culture, which is just
Mm.
it's kind of amazing to be part of the rides of looking at leaks and hearing oh my goodness, this character looks amazing, and who do you think the DLC characters are going to be? And this is a fun world because this
Mm.
has real life implications on Nintendo, and it's neat.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can tell that Nintendo knows that pretty much because they always release Smash in a period where it's gonna be the dominant game for a couple of months, and even us as gamers, we expect that, and we are completely okay with it. We don't expect other big releases because in a way, by having Smash out, it's like having a Pokemon game, an Animal Crossing game, a Mario game, because it has a little bit of everything, and it has a lot, a little bit of all these franchises, and it's really well balanced, really well presented, and it's fun for everyone, regardless of what part of Nintendo you favor the most. It's here.
And that's true with especially with the high replayability. I mean, the game will never end. It's just and that's a good thing because you know through the nature of it as a fighting game and celebrating all these characters, you're gonna have a fun time for a long time. And even with friends and family, being able to play Smash together and just it just brings the community together. And I think that's one of the greatest things that Nintendo does really well. And you know, I don't get that same vibe with like the other systems like Sony or Microsoft. I mean, but don't get me wrong, they are good at what they do in terms of bringing out certain franchises into the highest realm of like graphics or story. But with Nintendo, you're always gonna get that charm. You're always gonna get that just that fun community of players coming together and just getting hyped together and just it's always fun. And I don't think that's ever gonna change. And Nintendo's been that's what Nintendo's known for, just having these fun games. And yeah, I don't know what's down the pipeline for next year besides that new Pokemon game and the
Metroid, Fire Emblem.
Right, Metro Fire Emblem,
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
But I mean,
sorry, Sergio.
but for at least a few months, right? Because I know Fire
Yeah,
Emblem's coming
yeah.
out in the spring. Like, this is the game to get on the Switch. I mean, we were just talking about it. I was at lunch with some coworkers, and one of my coworkers was like, "Yeah, Smash on the Switch." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Well, I didn't say it like high pitched, but I was like, "Hell yeah, it's gonna be great." And then he was talking about how he's gonna bring it on the bus, and then like he's gonna, and if people will see him play, it's like, "Yo, you want to play?" And then like they'll just.
Well, it's huge. It's the next one. So there's a few games on Switch that you can show to people who don't really stay current with video games. One of them is Mario Kart. Mario Kart's always going to be that game that you can
Yeah.
just hand a controller to anybody and play it.
Yep.
Smash Brothers is another one, and Smash Brothers is one that I'll be recommending to pretty much everyone, regardless of background. Just because, if nothing else, there is nothing like it on the market. Like, there are games that have tried to copy the formula and such, and I'm not saying that party platforming fighting game is only Smash Brothers. It's not.
PlayStation
But-
All Stars.
Yeah, correct. But
sorry.
I mean, I can't name more than 3 characters in PlayStation All Stars just off the top of my head. Whereas people who don't play Nintendo can name who's in Smash Brothers. They know,
Right.
right?
Nope.
This is, and other companies have done crossover things like Sega has done a bunch of games with a bunch of crossover characters, and from time to time other Mario games do it and such, but there's nothing like Smash Brothers. To the point of, Melee is mostly responsible for how big Fire Emblem is in the West.
Yes.
Smash 64 is mostly responsible for how big F-Zero and Earthbound are. And then
Mhm.
every iteration thus far has added more and more of these other IPs and such into it to really spread the knowledge of, hey, what is this? What actually is this company? Like, what are they actually doing? And they use it to hype up these other games, which is, last week I came off a little negative on the Direct. I still kind of stand by that, but it kind of hurts to see characters like Isaac from Golden Sun get kind of shelved. Now, he made it, so I'm happy to
Ugh.
see it. But
yeah.
I was hoping, the reason I wanted Isaac, one, he'd be a cool character, but two, that would have been an amazing way to revive that series. You put this character in that a lot of people start playing and liking and developing this attachment to. Then, all of a sudden, there's a new Golden Sun game, and I've seen this happen with Fire Emblem and with even Star Fox for a little while was primarily a Smash Brothers character, not a Star Fox character,
Yeah.
right? And Captain Falcon is going to get his day. At some
I was
point.
gonna say, I have not seen a new F-Zero game in a long time. So I mean,
Right. But you
uh,
see these real life consequences of this silly video game that it's really cool to watch. And somebody on Reddit, I don't even know who it was, I apologize, but somebody was speculating what the addition of Piranha Plant is actually going to do for the Piranha Plant species within Mario, and they're stating all these facts about what these other characters' inclusion in Smash has meant to their own games and such. And it was actually a very interesting list. Like, this character got this move or suddenly developed this attitude and such based on how they were in Smash, and it was never like that. And it's neat. It's just interesting to watch. So that's kind of my long diatribe on why Smash is important. Just it's just a gaming moment. That's what it's gonna be, and that's coming a month. That's crazy.
It's a movement. It's like it's a constant like just this movement of fun and a celebration for the franchise. So yeah, I mean, oh gosh, I have it marked on my calendar, man. I whew, man.
So going back to the Direct, is there anything that you guys did not get a chance to touch on, or something that you saw in the Direct that you want to talk about more in depth now?
I think I was able to talk about my main points in last week's episode, but I wanted to get maybe updated impressions from you guys regarding Piranha Plant, because to me that seems like, just by memory, it seems like the coolest of the weird characters that they add to the game, like like
Yeah.
Rob, Game and Watch, Duck Hunt. Piranha Plant is just really out there, and it's very unexpected, but from what we can see, they're gonna make it work, and that's crazy. So I wanted to know, especially from Daryl, because I know you were like a little bit surprised about that.
Well, to be honest, I was never negative on Piranha Plant because I know people who are, and I know people who are like, oh man, that's a wasted character and whatever. I don't necessarily agree with that because it's weird. It just kind of was one of those things that I have trouble talking to other people. Hey, the plant is in Smash. That's a little funny. But as far as an actual character, obviously it was surprising. Its moveset looks really funny, so I'm actually okay with it as a character. I'm surprisingly positive on what it could be in terms of just gameplay, just because it's silly. And
Right.
those who have listened to me long enough know that I really appreciate stupid and silly in video games, and this definitely checks those boxes. So
Yeah.
it's got little feet and it runs. It's just dumb. I don't know.
I think it's a nice addition, especially as part of the package. And personally, for me, my moment with Piranha Plant was in Super Mario World, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, the third boss world. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh
yes,
man,
yes.
like the music and just trying to beat the Piranha Plant. Like, oh, I saw
that egg skipping mechanic was like one of the
Yes!
best things in that game.
Oh my gosh, that was like the most defining moment in my life with Piranha Plant. And I remember the day when like I was struggling for like a few days just trying to beat it. Not like 24/7, but like just a couple hours at a time when I had a chance to play back then. And man, I finally beat it. I'm like, man, now I'm kind of sad because I don't get to see Piranha Plant anymore. Like, oh no. So yeah, I mean I think it's great. And I mean, this is what Nintendo does. They're able to incorporate these silly, weird characters and make them likable. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a Piranha Plant squad of Smash players, like maybe on Reddit or just with the big flag, Piranha Plant Squad, PPS. I don't think they're gonna do that, but if they do, great.
Nice.
Well, I like it a heck of a lot better than Wii Fit Trainer. That's for sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that was kind of a odd addition, honestly.
it's still an odd addition. I watched a match, one of the Spain matches of Wii Fit Trainer versus Captain Falcon, which, by the way, awesome match. It was a lot of fun to watch. But I'm watching this just going, this is odd. This is still weird to me, like years later. I wanted to touch on two things that Sakurai actually tweeted that I thought were interesting. So we knew going out of the Direct that there was going to be 5 DLC characters after Piranha Plant. So there's going to be 5 more. I personally expect some extra DLC like costumes, maybe songs, maybe Echo Fighters and such that are kind of outside that. But
that'll be cool.
anyways, we know for sure there's going to be 5. So Sakurai actually tweeted that those 5 have been set. So they know exactly who they're going to be. Not a huge surprise. But that Nintendo chose all of them this time. instead of just the development team, which that's interesting to me, actually.
Personally, I don't really like that, just because I feel like the developers should get a bit more say in terms of what characters come out, because ultimately they are the ones who are coding, they are the ones who are putting in the hard time and work. I mean, and that's not to say that other parts of the team aren't doing their work. It's just I just feel like, well, I guess coming from me as an engineer, I feel like with developers who don't get that say, it's just kind of off-putting. But I can see why there are other members of the team who would make that decision. I'm sure there was like some dialogue that went on and some compromises here and there, but I don't know. I just find it a little off-putting, but it is what it is.
Well, I'm curious how involved they were with the characters so far in the game. Like, the way it's worded, it sounds like it's directed mostly toward the DLC, but I'm curious because we've gotten a couple of characters in this game that have been highly requested, and all of a sudden they've kind of done this heel turn on, especially Ridley and K. Rool and such, who quote unquote would not have worked in previous games or are now here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So I was kind of curious, like, did Nintendo choose Piranha Plant? I have no idea. Was this Sakurai being weird again? I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't know how it really shades who the DLC characters are going to be, but I just thought it's kind of a fascinating comment.
Well, with that being said, do you think Waluigi would be something that Nintendo would choose? Because, I mean, that's still a possibility.
Sadly, at this point, I don't think so. I think
No.
whoever's an assist trophy is gonna stay an assist trophy, and I mean, I was hoping until the very end, but now I don't think so. But out of those 5, I do expect and I do want to see Banjo-Kazooie,
Yeah, same.
Yeah. We're good.
because we know Isaac is not gonna be there, sadly. So
Boo.
at least give us that one.
Yeah, by the way, if there's a form or something that I can fill out to convert assist trophies, just point me in that direction. But
Yo, change.org. Change the world.
yeah,
Change
one
everybody's life.
petition at a time.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, I don't know like the details of using change.org, but I mean, hey, it's a good place to start. I mean, they're gonna know, because I'm pretty sure we're not the only people who want Isaac as a main character. So,
Oh no.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Banjo and Kazooie are actually fairly likely at this point. And I don't want to get my hopes up, but it just everything kind of points that way. Like, they just got their trademark renewed, and they were originally owned by Nintendo. So if Nintendo is making the choices, maybe they want to bring a character back into their fold, as it were. Maybe they're making a play to be closer with Microsoft, which, for the record, I love that union. That's amazing.
Definitely.
So, I've seen some things that could actually kind of insinuate that might actually happen. There's also been some rumblings about a Square Enix character being in other than Cloud. So I'm personally still hoping for Geno. I don't know how likely he would be, but my hopes are still there, because I know he's been requested and Sakurai's wanted to put him in before, and he's always been kind of on the outskirts of Smash. So I'm hoping, but if not him, then there's a few other Square Enix reps that would be pretty cool to see in there, like Vivi the Black Mage, or anybody from the Super Nintendo Final Fantasy games, or I know people want Sora and a few others.
Oh yeah.
I would say Cecil, the Dark Knight, the Red Baron Knight.
Dude, I would love that.
That'd be so sick. And then like he'll have an Echo Fighter, which would be the his light version.
The Paladin version, yeah.
Right, the Paladin version, right. And oh my gosh. You hear it, Nintendo? Make that happen. Come on now. Oh man, please.
Or maybe I'm thinking a Chocobo or a Moogle.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
man.
A Moogle would be perfect. I mean, nobody hates Moogles, and if they do, I haven't met one yet, so hopefully not.
I didn't even think about a Moogle. That'd be amazing.
And I just thought of one, maybe a little out there, but what about a Minecraft character?
Whoa.
Yeah, people have been talking about that. It's Minecraft Steve. And
Minecraft.
to be honest, I never even knew what his name was.
Well, I didn't know that's his name.
Yeah, so I get including something from Minecraft. I really do. Including that particular character, I don't know. I wouldn't be hyped about it. I know people probably would, but I would not be on that boat.
No, me neither.
Yeah, it's a different generation.
He just
But-
like walks around and puts blocks everywhere. There you go, guys. It's a game. Have fun.
I mean, if they could put Wii Fit Trainer, I'm sure they could put Minecraft characters.
Oh, they
there.
can. You know they
Yeah.
can.
They can, yeah. I mean, actually, 1.5 feet away from me right now is a Koopa amiibo. So what if they put Koopa Troopa? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I would use.
I mean,
Koopa Troopa.
after Piranha Plant, literally everything is off. Nothing is out of left field anymore with
Yeah.
Bayonetta, Cloud, Ryu, and now Piranha Plant. Just everything. It could be. I don't know. It could be Lakitu. I mean,
It could be a blooper, and the blooper can have this awesome wave attack, and then like his up B would be like a wave with a save kind of attack where he would just like shoot a up wave and just
making
grab the
move
ledge.
sets.
making move sets. Yeah. Anyway, man, that'd be great. But I mean, there's so many characters. Like, gosh, I mean, I'm still gonna stick with Mario. Well, I want to definitely try Mario, Dr. Mario, and then go from there. And definitely the Castlevania characters, and man, gosh, there's too many.
I ended up writing out the characters that I actually care about, trying out as legitimate, maybe my main type characters.
There we go.
And I got to 20 and just had to stop myself. I'm like, oh no. So there's a good chance I'm going to be playing like half the roster in this game.
It's all good.
And one of my favorite tweets ever. So this was Sakurai's follow up to the other one that the DLC characters were set. I'm just gonna quote it because I love this. Quote, "It's great to dream about your favorite character joining the battle, and I appreciate your passion. But please try to stay on topic when replying to tweets and refrain from flooding us and other users with requests when we're not specifically asking for feedback. Thank you."
Yo, that's pretty awesome. I mean,
that's the equivalent of "don't ask me for anything ever again."
yeah. Well, I mean, and he should say that, and I'm glad he said that because there's gonna be a lot of fans be like, "Hey, man, where's Waluigi? Hey, dude, where's Waluigi?" And like, where's Isaac and all that? So,
my favorite comment on that was some guy with the username Isaac for Smash, and all his comment was, "Oh yeah, we definitely understand and thank you for all your work." I'm like,
yo, okay. Pretty good.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I got a legitimate kick out of that. It's just like, guys, please stop. So if you are requesting characters, just realize yelling it at the top of your voice is probably not the way to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because in the last one, there was a poll to see who would win, and that was, I guess that's officially they say that's how Bayonetta came into the play. But this time, there was no mention of a poll, even so soon after a direct hearing that all 5 were already selected. I mean, it's a done deal. And considering that, I think they should have announced at least one of them, to get people enticed to buy the DLC pack.
Hey, there's still the Game Awards.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah, but honestly, they don't have to. I mean, like they're already milking. They're already like not milking, but they already know that people are gonna get the DLC, or a lot of people will. So, but I think for the fans, they should at least one character. I mean, it'd be nice. Like Isaac, but I'm just kidding.
Nah, I mean, looking at the game that we have coming and looking at the footage that I've seen over the past week, this is a really exciting game, and I'm really gonna like it, and I just know that kind of looking at it. So at this point, I can't ask for anything. With the 5 DLC characters are what they are. They could obviously make me extremely happy with a couple characters, or they could just be shrugs and whatever. It doesn't matter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving me a game with 80 characters in it. What do I care? Like I want to play Young Link and Simon and Fox and Mega Man and Roy and Chrom and K. Rool. I mean, there's so many characters. It doesn't. I'm past the point of really worrying about that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's fun to speculate.
No.
Laura Croft for Smash. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Crash Bandicoot for Smash. There we go.
Oh man, Crash Bandicoot for Smash.
Oh, Spyro.
Spyro for
Spyro's
Smash.
Spyro,
Okay.
yeah.
Parappa
alright.
the Rapper for Smash.
See, that would actually be. Oh my goodness, I would love that. Parappa the Rapper. Oh. Oh.
But
Punch jump.
with the amount of content in the game already, and then nowadays it's a lot easier to find a community to play with people online. We have our own on our Discord. I just don't see when I'm gonna stop playing this game. I'm kind of hoping Animal Crossing comes out later in 2019. You know.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We've already got 2 games that are like these perennial games in Rocket League and Splatoon. Like, so we're gonna add Smash to that rotation, and then you've got some things like Animal Crossing for sure. So pretty much after like the middle of next year, we're never ever gonna play anything else. That's just gonna be
smash or
that's
bust.
gonna be the square.
Oh.
Two more things on Smash. So one, I am, and I have not talked to you guys about this, but I do have a lot of good ideas, hopefully good ideas for tournaments for Smash Brothers when it comes out. So definitely keep an eye on our Discord channel and Twitter. We will be having tournaments in Smash Brothers when it comes out, and I did say that as plural. I did mean it as plural. There will be
Yes.
multiple. Different
Absolutely.
formats, different styles of tournament. We just need to get the game and see what the options are and make some rule sets and such around it. But that will absolutely happen. So please join our Discord, start the conversation, start playing with people. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Number 2, kind of stealth dropped on Switch was a game called Brawlhalla, which
Yes.
is not a bad game. It's kind of a party platforming fighter, so it's in the same genre, I'll say, as Smash. It's a lot more shallow, but it's still a fun game. It dropped for free on Switch, so I would recommend
What?
picking it up. It's free.
No.
And you can
Oh.
pay for characters and such, but you have a rotating. It's like the League of Legends model. You have a rotating cast of characters and such. Just download it, play it with people. It's fun. You can play online. If I remember reading this, I think it has crossplay even. Like it, I don't know. I've played it a little bit. It's actually a pretty good time. So I would recommend picking that up and playing it with people because it doesn't cost anything.
Yo, Daryl with the news, man. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that. I was like, what? Bro, I mean, wow. Okay, great. I've actually played Brawlhalla on the PC, so for free. It was decent. But then yeah, I just didn't really have a lot of people to play with. But
Yeah, it's more
free.
shallow, and a lot of the characters are kind of the same and
Yeah.
such. But it is a fun game. The format's
Sure
pretty
is.
fun and a little bit different than Smash. Like there's actually weapons and such that each character can use.
Right.
It's an interesting game, and just as kind of a, play it until Smash comes out. At least it's fun.
Get your Smash picks. Brawlhalla. Mm.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't have much else to talk about with Smash. I think we definitely covered quite a breadth of things. And, well, with that being said, I'm going to go to the topic that I want to talk about. Yeah. But here we go. What is one. Okay, all right. So, what is one video game where there was a character that you idolized and in turn took at least 1 to 2 traits from that character and integrated that into your overall personality? I'm going to start with Lieutenant Surge, man. You're on the mic.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go with Link from The Legend of Zelda, and I know it's hard to get it from the first go because Link is not very. He doesn't really have a personality, or it's hard for him to show it basically, because he's the silent protagonist in a lot of the games, or in every game he's been. He's never spoken really.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's how I am in a way. I'm not too outspoken. I'm mostly a quiet person, but I get things done when I need to, and Link definitely gets things done, of course, and that's why I like him. So like I said before, my favorite Link is the one from Twilight Princess because that's the one that is most like the hero. I feel, he saves the children from the beast in Kakariko Village. He just does so many things, and he's always so heroic. And he doesn't really get the recognition I think that he deserves in that game,
Mm-hmm.
but it just makes him so heroic to me. And I don't consider myself a hero, but I do get things done when they need to be done, and I just do it quietly, and I think I get that from Link. What's interesting is that I kind of fell out of Zelda because of Skyward Sword, and that's
Huh.
my least
Okay.
favorite Link,
Interesting. Yeah.
actually. So, yeah, I don't really like that game. I could save that for another topic, but yeah, I miss Zelda, the old formula. I like Breath of the Wild. I haven't played enough of it to really comment on it too much because I guess it's so different from the main Zelda formula that it kind of wasn't for me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's ever another Zelda that is more like the traditional formula, I'm definitely gonna be there. And yeah, Link is my character.
That's awesome. I can definitely see that with you. I mean, you definitely have that silent confidence, and I mean, like even when I first met you, like when you brought, I still remember when you brought out that monitor for us to play on Switch, and I was like, dang, like this guy is prepared, man. Like, and with Link, I feel like it's the same way. Like, no matter where he goes, like he's gonna find a way to get prepared and be ready for the next like dungeon, and have all his tools ready to go. So. Link is definitely that's a good character to choose. I mean, I feel like it is a very relatable character with a lot of us. Just carrying that confidence and maybe not always having the attention that you deserve, but just know that we do notice those little things, and it's important to just actions speak louder than words. And I think in this case, that definitely
Yeah.
is a good match. So.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that the example you just had was Sergio pulling something out of a bag and being
No,
prepared
no,
for it. I
no,
was
no.
like, there we go.
Yeah, I guess
It was right next to the boomerang and the bow and arrow and bombs and
right.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because, yeah, I mean, when I first met Sergio, like we started talking about video games and stuff, and then like all of a sudden, we were at Starbucks and just when playing Switch, and then he just brought this monitor, it was like this 15-inch monitor. It was like, holy shit, like man, this is what is happening? Like,
Just emphasizing the point. I have
yeah.
no complaints about that.
Yeah, that's a real. I mean, it's awesome. And then like people were watching, and that was awesome too. And then this parent came with this kid, and the kid's like all googly eyed and shoots. And anyway, it's just man, that's cool.
Episode 20, googly eyed and shoot.
Yeah, I was about to cuss, but I was like, oh man, shoot. There you go. Awesome. And Daryl, who is your character and which game?
All right, so this is kind of a funny one, and I can't explain it quite as well, but I had a character that instantly jumped to my mind when I read the question and is still there. So I'm gonna go with our good friend Fox McCloud.
Nice.
So Fox was kind of just a normal, fighter pilot ace type character for a long time, and even in Star Fox 64, he was kind of like that, kind of the straight man for his crazy teammates, right? That switched a little bit with the funniest game. Actually, Star Fox Adventures, which was kind of the Zelda clone. It wasn't very highly reviewed. I kind of liked it, but a lot of people hated it, and with decent reason. I'll say it's not a great game. It was among the last games that Rare made for a Nintendo platform. But anyways, in that game, they really tried to flesh out his personality and gave him kind of this cocky mercenary type, which I think always kind of fit with what he was, and that has continued into his future games. So what I liked about Fox and what I've kind of picked up from him is he's always confident in what he can do. He's always the leader. He's always the one who's kind of calming down, like I said, his crazy teammates around him and being the anchor of the team. And at the same time kind of cracking jokes and being this sarcastic type character. And that really appealed to me, to be honest. Like, I really liked that. So of a character, I mentioned this in the Starlink episode, like, Fox is kind of quietly like a top 3 or top 5 Nintendo character for me, and it's kind of odd because, you know, a lot of Star Fox games are okay, but a couple of them are great, but he doesn't have exactly the best track record. But I love him as a character. I think he's really, really well done and really fleshed out. And honestly, Star Fox Adventures, which was not a great game, I think really did a lot to help him out as a character, and I appreciated that game for it. So when I play a game like Starlink and he's kind of cracking jokes and making little quips against the characters within Starlink, that brought a smile to my face the entire time. Like, so yeah, I think for me, I definitely relate with Fox, and that's always just kind of been my character. That's me.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, you do have that confidence. You know, you do take up that leadership, that ownership of things, especially with, you know, this podcast, and be able to, you know, reach out to different people and just keeping up with the emails and stuff. So I think you do have that, and I can see the link. I can see the Starlink. So, yeah, and man, it's a pretty good character to choose, man. Man, we got Link and Fox. Oh man, that's boom.
Pretty strong so far.
Pretty strong, yeah. Oh man.
All right.
That's all. Yeah, that's all you got.
You gotta follow that up, man.
Yo, man, I'm
Marine
sorry.
From Call of Duty.
It's it is not a Nintendo character, or it will be later. So
Cloud.
My choice, it's not Cloud. It's a good guess, but my choice is the main character of Final Fantasy IX, Zidane Tribal. And I'll tell you, like, when I first started playing this game back in the early 2000s, or at that time, you know, there was one thing that came up, you know, just when I was, you know, playing, and on the screen it said, "You don't need a reason to help people," and it showed a picture of the main character. I'm like, holy shoot, like, interesting, like, because usually, I think at the time when I was a lot younger, I thought that, well, there's got to be a reason behind certain things that you do, right? Like when you're helping people or when you're doing certain things, and the fact that it just spells out you don't need a reason to help people, I'm like, okay, I'm a little intrigued as a sixth grader, so I'm gonna see what this is all about. And going through his journey, you know, Zidane is this laid back, you know, casual, like this really outgoing guy, and just super friendly. Now he is flirtatious, but I did not inherit that quality, unfortunately. I just didn't. I mean, I wasn't really good talking with girls like at that age. So, and you know, but I definitely took up the, you know, just being more outgoing as I've grown up later on. And you know, when it comes to tough situations, you know, Zidane is a lot more serious, and he just knows how to get stuff done. And so I think, with that being said, there are some drawbacks. You know, he internalizes pain. He internalizes a lot of things that are going on in his life, and like there's a point in the game where, you know, he finds out about his, you know, his past, and just stuff that just puts him into depression. And then that's when, you know, the "You're Not Alone" song comes in, which we talked about in game music episode 2. So that was pretty awesome. And I mean, just to know that, you know, with the things that he's done for his friends, which are characters that you'll be able to play in battle with Final Fantasy IX, you realize that Zidane he's gone out of his way to help people. He's gone out of his way to just, you know, be somebody for you know, for Vivi, for Garnet, for the other characters, and like just a very dependable person, a reliable person. I think that's something that I've always wanted to be when I was a lot younger, and who I am now hopefully people think that. And and I say that because my whole life has been just about just doing things the right way. Making sure that I do the little things right, and to have the people in my life who I care about, and just be able to make sure that they're good, consider them before me, and just take care of things. And ironically too, like for the things that I've done in my life, like I internalize it a lot. Um, it's hard for me to share it at times because I'm afraid to show weakness, and I think it's the same goes for Zidane. So it's pretty ironic how this one character from a game that I don't consider my favorite game is a character that I feel like I'm a part of, and
Hmm.
and a lot of things just come out of this, like Pay It Forward, that one movie with Kevin Spacey and Helen Hunt, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and actually first watched it around the same time I got this game, so I was like, all right, I mean, I guess it worked out. So, but yeah, I think just the reliability, trying to help other people without having a reason, I think that's definitely something I take from Zidane. So.
No, that's awesome. That's kind of an an admirable quality.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's, I, you know, Zidane is. I'm surprised I don't even have like a toy or like some sort of like picture of him. I don't know. It's weird. I guess I just never really thought about it until like recently when I thought about this topic. I was like, oh man, because usually with things that are important to me, I would have like some sort of like memento or like some sort of action figure or something. But I gotta change that sometime. Anyway, yeah. So that's my answer. Great.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's all I got. And man, we got some we got something special for y'all. Listener mail from one of our favorite members and slash friends slash homies, Dragon. Boom, Dragon Flame. Yeah, shout out to Dragon. We got this question. Here we go. Or actually, it's questions. So, are any of you guys a fan of trial and error gameplay, like running through a Sonic level for the first time and figuring out which are the best paths to go for that don't screw you over with spring traps, spikes, or a pit for a game over? Or do you think this is a poor gameplay design?
Hmm.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna start with you, Daryl. Go for it.
Hmm.
Next.
Yeah. my official response is No, I mean, I'm gonna kind of cheat. Like, I kind of think it's both. Like, and it just depends on how it's done. Like, there are games that are like, we got you, and that I'll never really enjoy that. And I know Dark Souls does that from time to time. Like, oh, you turned right. Oh, you should not have turned right. I mean, little things
Right.
like that, and you kind of learn as you go and things. I think to me it depends on how they deal with the after effects of it. So let's say you try something and you make an error, or the game punishes you for that attempt or whatever, and you die. Let's say, if you come back, do you then have to replay like 15 minutes of game? If that's the case, terrible, absolutely horrible.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't ever like that, and some of my least favorite Mega Man games do that kind of thing. Like, oh, you shouldn't have tried to jump there. Okay, I'm gonna warp you back to the beginning of the level. Like,
Dang it.
that's not a fun mechanic to me. Like, if it's something like, so I bring up this game a lot, and I'm not even sorry about it. But if it's something like Celeste, which is some trial and error of like, how do I get through the stage? Oh, I died there, but it warps you back to the beginning of the room, and it's just like, okay, you didn't lose anything. You kind of tried something, it didn't really work, but now you can try it again. It was fair.
Mm.
Like, nothing was really all that hidden in it, but for whatever reason it didn't work. I'm okay with that. So I don't know. It really depends on the situation
Mm.
for me.
Yeah, I agree actually, but I guess the key part, which you did mention, is that it has to be fair and it has to restart you right where you died or very close to it. The game that comes to mind is BBB or
Oh yeah,
because
There we
yeah.
go.
every screen, which is basically every level, has a warp there, and when you die, you are back right there, like s- split second, like immediately you're there and you can try again, and
Yeah,
that
the
makes it
music
very
doesn't
easy.
even stop.
Yeah,
Oh man.
exactly. Now, there's the other side of the formula, which I kind of prefer, which is making the trial and error out of basically when it's the second part of the game or when where it's the secondary function. I'm thinking of games like Star Fox 64. Basically,
Mm.
you run through the game, you're just going through the levels, but the second part of it is the high score and how many points you can get per stage, and that's kind of like a trial and error kind of thing. Like, oh, I should have done this better, or I should wait to kill these enemies when they're together. And that takes more time. It takes more trials, more errors, more time.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like that one too. And I'm also reminded of a game for the DS called Yoshi Touch and Go. It was
Ooh.
very arcadey in a way. Basically, you run through the level, trying to get as many points as you can. And I kind of like those games. They don't make that many of those nowadays.
No, they
Hmm.
don't. And
Yeah,
that's a little surprising. Score Attack has kind of
yeah,
faded a little bit in
Man.
favor of roguelikes.
yeah. Right.
And what you brought up about Star Fox is a great point though,
Mm.
because like a lot of the missions in that game have multiple uh, success playthroughs. Like you can either complete the mission or you can accomplish the mission based on what you
Right.
Oh
did. And
yeah.
sometimes it's like actually flying through rings, or sometimes it's just completely based on kill count. And there is some trial and error on that,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not really losing if you don't do it, which I think is kind
Right.
of the. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you're the type to be like, man, I really need 300 kills, and you end up with 290, yeah, you lost, and it definitely feels like you lost. But I don't. I think I agree with you. I think that's one of the ones that's kind of done correctly.
Yeah, I agree. Star Fox 64 definitely a great example of good gameplay design in terms of just having multiple paths and exploring different worlds too. Like if you depending on how you complete the mission. When I think about trial and error, I think about Fire Emblem and my stupid obsession of like not losing a single character.
That's maddening.
I
That
know,
is terrible if you play it that way. It's
I know,
horrible.
it is terrible, but then
I
like for some,
understand why you do it. I did it for a long time, but it's horrible.
it is horrible. Like it was okay. So in the earlier Fire Emblem games, like it wasn't that bad because like I think for me it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. But with like Fire Emblem Conquest on the 3DS,
Yep.
oh my goodness, like it was a nightmare for like the 20th hour, 30th hour going into the game where I would repeat one freaking map for like 10, 15 times. And I'm like, gosh.
And this was not short. This was like after 30 minutes of playing that map, and one
Right.
character dies
Yeah.
because an enemy spawned behind them, and you're like, ah!
Yeah. And then like you can hear my housemates, they're like, because like I'm like, ah. And then like my housemate's like, dude, like, why are you? I just let one person, just go. I'm like, no, I can't, man. I can't do it. This is not how you play Fire Emblem.
Have you ever
And
actually played Fire Emblem like that? Just a playthrough that if they die, they die, and that's it?
okay, so I let it go one time in Conquest where there was one battle that I just I just lost one character. I let it go after 15 tries. And I just
Oh,
moved on.
no.
I know. There was I think the second Fire Emblem game on the GBA, is it the Sacred Stones? That's the one I just I think at that in that I there were a couple times where I was like, okay, well, restart, but then I mean, because as a kid I was like impatient. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just let it go. But then for I think just like watching some of the YouTube videos later on with like these games, and I was like, man, like I gotta get it perfect, like I did in the first Fire Emblem game that I played, and then it just got me surged back, and I anyway, but Fire
I've
Emblem
let
would.
I've let a few characters go just like, I didn't like him that much anyway.
Yeah.
Who
think,
cares?
and I think the reason why I was a bit more maddening about the conquest characters is because like the whole like, oh, you can like ship this character, ship that character, or you can like,
Oh
I don't know.
goodness, yeah.
I know, or you can like, there's like some special dialogue that you might not, you won't be able to hear if they pass away. So it's like, all
And
right,
by letting this character go, you may not get this other future character that's like amazing, and there's a lot in
yeah.
there that.
So it's like I don't want to lose that chance, man. Like this is like not how life works, right? Like I can restart. So,
I kind of
well,
want to do one playthrough at some point and just do like a what happens playthrough and get through the whole pick a Fire Emblem game and just get through it. That will be an emotional experience for me.
yeah. I guess the one thing I could do is just like turn off the permanent death thing. But no, I can't. I just I have this like, no, man, I can't do it because
No.
it just like breaks away from the intended purpose of how you play the game. But so I guess the primary question: am I a big fan of trial and error gameplay? I'm like you guys. It depends on the situation. I think with Sonic, like I think it does
Oh,
a great.
God.
I mean, with Sonic levels, you know, even back
I think
then,
Sonic
like,
levels are terrible for it, and
You-
I'm just
yeah.
gonna say that because those are not score attack levels. There's not much
They're
reason
not.
to really learn them in depth or anything like that, and they still put these like, gotcha spike traps. It just
yeah.
Yeah.
that's one of the main reasons I never really got into Sonic until fairly recently, just because that kind of thing just felt so trolly to me, and Sonic is so slow when he's not running, and it's just terrible.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, I think back then I guess I just didn't really think about it as much. I was just trying to figure out how to, get the fastest time and just go through the level without, getting hit too much and try to get as many rings as I can and then also gain the Chaos Emeralds. The Chaos Emeralds, my goodness. That was a trial and error in itself. But yeah, like I said, it depends on the situation. I think that, my experience with Fire Emblem, it kind of, it was. I mean, it was an interesting experience. I mean, with some of the older Fire Emblem games, like the first one, I really really liked. So it was definitely an enjoyable experience. But I just had that. I think when you have that mentality of, wanting to get it done perfectly, I think there's a sense of determination for a different reason. It's like I'm just so determined. Like I'm dedicated. I want to just get it just 100%, no losses. So, I think in that sense, in a weird way, I am a fan of it. Just to there is some sort of satisfaction, but at the same time, like, now that I'm older, I don't have as much time to play. Like, I have to just let it go. If I lose a character in battle, game over. Okay, I'll let it go. Just like that one character I let go in Conquest, which, by the way, is a pretty tough Fire Emblem game. So it's not forgiving at all.
Yeah, it
So
was.
yeah. So yeah, that's all I got. And with that being said, that's gonna do it for episode 20 of the Nintendo Jump Podcast. If you like the podcast, please let us know. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Nintendo Jump. We also have a Facebook group that we'd love for you to join. We also have a Discord group, which you will find in our show notes. Give us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it. It'll help more people find us, and you'll feel awesome because feeling awesome is great.
You're helping us.
You're helping us. You're helping us help you. Finally, that's all I got. I was thinking of talking about more game music, but
No. Keep sending in your suggestions. Like, we do have a list that we're updating with it, so it will come, and it'll come at some point in the fairly near future. So please do keep sending in your suggestions.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
look forward to next week's episode, which is entitled "How to Get Good at Competitive Games."
Ooh.
Ooh.
GIT GUD. Get good. It's gonna be great. I mean, we have our in-house professional, Smash professional, Daryl. So it's definitely gonna be awesome. And Sergio and I, yeah, you and Sergio and I, we are highly competitive as well. So which is gonna be great to see when Smash comes out, man. I can't wait to play against you guys and with you guys and with people in our community. So it's gonna be awesome. And with that, we're gonna jump on out of here. Once again, this is Kevin, and for Daryl and Sergio, thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Kevin.